Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Loty PC, and welcome to Rule the Waves 3, or the Absolute Mental Spreadsheet Simulator. Yes, welcome. So we put this up on the Discord for an announcement, and obviously put it to a vote on YouTube, and you guys said you wanted to see this game. So this is a game that, honestly, if you were in an office, okay, and you were playing this game, yeah, you'd be fine. I know that is stealing a phrase from Mandalore Gaming, who talked about that for the Aurora video he did, but it's very, very true here as well. Now we do actually have a map. There is some graphics here, and we'll see a little bit more. Now, what we did decide was we had a vote on which country we would play, which was taken in the Discord. So if you want to in the future have your say, come join us over on Discord. And everyone voted for France. Well, not everyone. It was a tie between France and Japan. But we are doing a Japan stream game, so I thought it would be far. It'd be better to do the actual recording video where we do France. So, what is the situation with France? Well, we've got colonial holdings in obviously Africa, as well as the Far East, particularly Vietnam and Indochina, as well as a few others, Numia, New Caledonia, South Pacific, which is the New Hebrides, as well as Polynesia. A little bit, the Antilles belongs to us, and obviously the northern coast of Africa, Tunisia and Algeria. So we're in a situation where we do need to make sure that we have plenty of ships on foreign station, which we will talk about. We'll talk about some of the kind of key aspects of this game. And our budget is pretty solid, but it's not the best. So if we go to the almanac, our naval budget is miles behind Great Britain, which is almost kind of what you'd expect. A little bit ahead of Russia. But yeah, generally we kind of don't have loads. Now, we do have a liberal democracy, which means we are going to get new governments very regularly, which can kind of affect things, particularly considering we've got inconsistent naval policy. So this means that the politicians are going to want to get involved in our ship designs. We do get bonus tech from quadruple turrets and hardened AP penetrator, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. That's miles away. And we have researched everything up to 13-inch naval guns, which is pretty fun. So that's pretty good. Ships in service, we've got 5 battleships, 5 cruisers, a load of light cruisers, and a few corvettes. We do have some ships under construction as well, 2 battleships, a heavy cruiser, and 2 light cruisers. And as I say, you can see we've got 3 classes of battleships. Now, this is where we have a little bit of graphics to our ships, and this is what the ships look like, which is kind of fun. Now, something we can do, if we go into preferences, which I always lose, I can never remember where they are. There they are. Sound and video, crazy, I know, but there is actually sound. What I am going to do is I'm just going to shift the background to something a little bit, nicer on the eyes. So I'm going to go to kind of a darker grey, just so that when you guys are looking at it, it's not super black. Hold on. There we go. It's a little bit nicer on the eyes there. We can still clearly see what we're looking at, but it's just a little nicer. So we are going to show our damage meter core scale. I like the map. I basically like all of these on. It's nice to see. So if we go down to our kind of deck colors, let us give Germany a kind of weird wood. Let's do the same for Austria-Hungary. Let's give Great Britain a bit more of a kind of natural wood color. We're going to take also a kind of natural wood color. Russia can take, kind of odd brown. USA, this is This is part of the thing of this game, which is kind of just not really necessarily needed. I'm just going to do the rest as the same, basically. Um, and yeah, we'll apply. You know what? We're not going to apply that to a DD. So if we go into our design, we can now see. Look at what our ship looks like. Amazing. So we can see here. You know, it tells us basically what we've got on our gun, on our ship, and what things we're kind of looking at. So our current one of our battleships, the Gallois. Apologies for the French, terrible French pronunciation. 18 knots, pretty good. Short range though, which is not great. Belt of 11 inches. It is narrow, but it has got extended belt and upper belt. Deck of 2.5, deck extended, conning tower, turrets top, second guns. It's got a lot of armor. It has two 12-inch guns, both in a single turret, which kind of sucks. But then it does have a couple of 10-inch guns, which are also, as you can see, in the midships. So, okay, fine. And then we have a bunch of 5-inch guns in two turret situations. So, again, not terrible. It does also have a couple of torpedoes as well. So, generally okay. It's only got local fire control because it's 1890. The only way we know how to see something is to look forward. I don't actually need to worry about that. Charles Martel, open design, very similar. But this time it has 14-inch guns, two at the front, one in the midships, and it's got a load of casemate guns. So it's got 12 5-inch casemate guns. It doesn't have any other tertiary guns. Does have a load of torpedoes. Slightly slower, more belt armor. It's got, you know, less extended belt, slightly less deck armor. But yeah, you know, it is also cramped as well. It's a bit of a stick them in and see how it goes. This is kind of our floating fortress, so to speak. And then we have the Carnot as well, open design. Now this looks a little bit nicer. Again, two 12-inch guns. It has a set of 10-inch guns, and it kind of has a lot more 6-inch guns. This is basically an upgraded version of the Gallois. So that's absolutely fine. We're also building one of those as well. And we also have the Henry IV here as well. Ooh, this is intriguing. 13-inch guns with double turrets at the forward and the aft. Pretty solid belt as well. Pretty decent deck. Fairly fast, you know, at 17. It is also 14,000. It is using our total yard capacity. 8 7-inch guns in the casemate and nothing else. And a load of torpedoes as well. So yeah, there you go. Cool. So that's our ships, or our main ships. We do have some cruisers as well, which are pretty cool. I kind of like cruisers. So that's kind of what we got at the moment in terms of our ships. Now, something else we have is our budget down here. So we get our yearly budget, and that's obviously going converts into a monthly budget. This is how much we're paying for our ships, and extra maintenance cost if everything is active, or that is what is everything is active at the moment. Which everything is active. Plus we have to pay for coastal artillery, construction. We're building ships, so we have to pay for that. Naval aircraft, we don't have to worry about that because we don't have any research, extra training, intelligence, and total expenses. So we are getting an extra 239 per month. Now, if we go to ships under construction, we've got a long way for some of our ships to come. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to halt construction on the Carnot class and the Isley, or Islay, the Kazamo light cruiser. The reason being, suddenly now we have 2,000 francs that we can pay per month, and something that I really want to do is stick that into intelligence for people around us. Now, the USA is important. Spain I can put in low. Russia is pretty important. So are the Brits. But the most important is going to be Germany. We also then want to put some more money into our research. We can put up to 12%, but when we start getting over 10%, it becomes, a kind of losing game. We get less returns per funding, but we're going to go up to 12% anyway, because why not? According to this, 14 guns aren't research, but we do have it, but hey ho. I'm not too worried about naval guns. One thing that I do really want to kind of focus on is ship design, and hull construction. Okay. Those are kind of our big things at the moment. Now, when things go forward, when we start to see what comes up, there are going to be other ideas, fleet tactics, small ships, etc., etc. So when we see stuff like that, that's going to be important. Now, if we go back to ships under construction, we might be able to let is they resume, and yeah, we're still making money, so that's good. What else do I need to do? Let's do our division. So let's create some divisions. Let me just check what is on foreign service and what isn't. According to this, nothing is on foreign service or foreign station. Although there is stuff that is based in different areas. Okay, that's fine. So if we go to division editor, we can move this over and we can kind of see what we're doing. This is kind of a good way to organize our fleet. So the first one we need to do is our battle division. All of our cruise, all of our battleships are uh, in France. So let's add ships to division. Let's focus on the Carnot and the Charles Martel classes. Okay. Then let us make a new division, which is going to be our cruiser division, our heavy cruiser division. So 1CA division. Add ships. Now, let's move anything that is in Northern Europe, which is these four. So those guys can join that. Again, add a new division. This is going to be our light cruise division. And again, add ships to division, anything that is in Northern Europe. Although we probably have too many, so it will shout at us. Yes, how many is it going to give us? 5. So we can then go new division, go second light cruise division, add ships to division 1, 2, 3. And if we go into here, let us move the Suchet, move to the other division, move to the second light cruiser. Oop. Okay, so we have 4 divisions of 4 ships. Now, what we can do with this is if we go into set role, the role for the cruiser division is to be a core fleet, but lead division is the first battle. Now, the light cruiser divisions, their role is to screen the first battle. And then when we get better ships or more ships in the future, we can get those sorted. So set role, again, screen first battle. So now when we look at this, you'll see that the first battle division made up of our 4, 4 battleships, also has the cruise divisions attached to them. So that's good. Commanding officer. Do we have any commanding officers available? No, we don't. So the game will automatically assign it for us. So we'll let it do that. Elsewhere, I think we're okay at the moment. We can have a look at doctrine. Let's get our fire control increase, but that is quite a lot. We'll wait until we get a bit more budget before we do that. But I think that's everything good. I think we can start our first turn. These are our our fleet. So Capitaine de Vaisseau and Capitaine de Frégate. We will see what we get kind of forward. And every few years they will upgrade. So let's take our first month. Some of your ships, yep, that's fine. So yes to all, it should do it. Okay. So Captain de Vaisseau Marzan of the battleship Brennus is promoted to Contra-Admiral and placed in command of the first battle division, etc., etc. Britain has increased its naval spending to keep its navy preeminent, and it has laid down a battleship of the Resolution class. Okay, so not a lot happening there. That is it. That was the first month. We will get things like that happening, and see how things go. So we're going to move forward. Germany has laid down a cruiser of the Hertha class. Pardon me. Captain de Vaisseau Poulain has shown himself to be average ability. Okay, good, that's fine. Tension with Austria-Hungary is reduced due to random tension changes. Tension with Russia increases due to random tension changes. So, as you can see, these little boxes over here, the Russian one just went up and the Austrian one just went down. These are your tension boxes, basically, and these are going to kind of increase. And when they get up to this line, there's a very high chance of war. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean If you're below this line, you'll be in peace, or if you're above this line, you'll be at war. You know, what will generally end up happening is the higher you go, the more chances there are of things that are going to lead to war. And that's then going to have its own effect. Um, Elsewhere, I think we're okay. Now, the Germans have laid down another heavy cruiser. We can't quite afford one yet, but we've got our own building. So, for example, here we go. A colonial crisis with Germany has arisen. You are asked for recommendations. What is your advice? So, we can say we must safeguard our interests, and if it leads to war, we are prepared to fight, budget, prestige, and a massive increase of tension. It would be best to avoid war right now, but prepare for future conflicts. So that gives us extra budget as well as tension. We are not ready for war, and we should make concessions. Now, we don't really want to do that. Okay. Germany tension isn't super high at the moment, so we could push them. And that's what we're going to do, because we also get prestige, and we are going to get events that will lower our prestige, which obviously is going to be a bit of a problem. Now, as you can see, we have now been given some more monthly balance, which is great. Our prestige has gone up. If we get below 16, we will likely lose the game. But our tension with Germany is now quite high. But with France, it's 1890. Of course, our tension with Germany is quite high. So, what that'll allow us to do is if we want to go and build a new ship, let's go to classes. Which is better here, the Brio or the Guidon? Guidon, 8-inch, 12, 5-inch, 10, 2-inch, 3.5 belt, 1.5 deck, 4 turrets, 4 battery, 5 conning tower. Brio. 6. Pretty much the same. Okay, well, we will build another Brio class. Generate a random name, sure. Montcalm. Okay. Now, again, slightly in the red, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Our relations with Germany has taken a sudden turn for the worse. Yikes. Great. We're already at war with Germany. Oh my god. Wow, that was something I was not expecting already. I understood the colonial crisis might have led to war. Oh wow, it is going into May 1890. The war has been going on for like the peace and the initial Treaty of Versailles signed after the Franco-Prussian War ended less than 19 years ago. And we're back at war. Oh my god, this is incredible. Okay, so we will have a look at the almanac. Our fleet tonnage is 5 times, well, sorry, not 5 times, nearly 4 times the size of the Germans. More likely, it's more about 3 times the size. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Now the army are gonna want stuff. Now, obviously, the other big worry is our monthly budget has massively gone down. We can only afford 3 months. Okay, let's put them on calm on pause. There we go. Now we can afford what we need to do. So we will leave this first episode here. What a start! Hey guys, this is just setting up the game. Let's have a look at how it works. Yada yada yada. Boom! We're at war with Germany straight away. Hopefully, though, because it has happened really quickly, hoping that events haven't taken place, which has meant that the Germans have made agreements with other people, like the Austrians or something. So it should hopefully allow us just to fight the Germans on their own state. And who knows, we might be able to grab some colonial possessions here, which will be kind of fun. To get some early colonial possessions from the Germans. Not that they have a lot, but we can. And yeah, that'll be intriguing. Um, does this count? Oh, East Germany does count as a home area. What about East Prussia? It doesn't. Interesting. Intriguing. The East Germany does, which I'm guessing is supposed to. Well, I'm kind of surprised that counts, but yeah. Okay. So, I like how there's not a Newcastle port, but there is a Grimsby port. I'm shaking my head. Okay, so as I say, we'll leave it here. So thank you very much for everyone for joining us on our first Ruler Waves video as the French Republic. We will be back with this. You know, thank you for those who voted on the various votes. If you want to get involved, obviously keep an eye out on the community page on YouTube, but also come and join us on Discord. The link will be down below, so you can come and join us there. And yeah, we're into an interesting start. So until then, have a very, very good day. I will see you next time. Bye.